Hello everybody. Today Ben will be playing a game of Detective City of Angel, which at the start this is a one versus all, where one is controlling the board, the crime, the scenario, and everything else, while the other player are playing detective, trying to solve this scenario. So let me explain that. So as a single solo player, I will be having this little pad which I have four action. I can take four action. I can take multiple times the same action. First action is moving. I will have my character right here. I will be anywhere on the map. So if you can see, the map is divided into five neighborhood, region, section, zone, whatever you want to call it, that you can see the color around everywhere. So if I am at 93 and I want to move, I can move anywhere within that same section without any problem with one move. If I want to go to another location, let's say 43, I have to make a stop at a number that is on the border between those two sections that I want to cross. So I'm at 93, I have to go to 91, for example, then go to 93 within two move action. Next action is question. So I will on the board they will have miniature punch out of the suspect that I can ask, and if I question the suspect, I will have this little grid here. For this grid, it's representing by number. So if I want to ask, let's say, suspect 1 about a card, all information are representing by card on top of the board. About a card that I know, I will be pointed out to a number. I need to find the the phrase in this book, the sleuth book, not the page, but the phrase, and it will tell me the information that this character have. And before I can do that, I can decide to push. So risking after no sorry, after that, I can decide to push my luck and say I don't believe you. You're lying to me. I need more information. When I do that, I will be pointed to another phrase that I need to find in my book, and I will have three possible outcome. Outcome one, I will gain a leverage on this character. The leverage are representing by little hat that I will be gaining on the character. Later on, if I want to ask a question, before asking the question, I can decide to use my leverage to go directly to the second phrase. So I read the first one and go directly. Second, I can gain a stress. Stress are representing by those three little people here. When I gain one, it will be flip the other side. Tuck, tuck. And when I gain all three, the turn, let's say on the side of my map here, I have a countdown of the turn. I have 12 turns to solve the scenario. My tracker is this black round thing. So, and I have this final guess right here at the end. So the final guess start at turn 0. At any time before I take my turn, or when the two punch out are collided on the same turn, I need to uh, point out my guess. To do that, I need to have the suspect, the weapon, and the motive. So with that, before continuing, when all three stress are face up, the final guess counter will go up one turn, meaning I have one less turn to solve that. So when I think I have all information, I go on the back of the book, and on that I have the suspect that had a number, the weapon, which will be a card on top, and a motive that I can decide here. I need to add those three numbers, and it will give me again another number. And if it starts with the captain congratulates you about anything or everything relating this scenario I'm doing, I have one. Third action, turn result of a push, I can gain more information by either revealing a card on top, or he or she will be pointing me to another location on the map. If that happens, I will be putting a red cap here. This is just for me, not part of the game, representing a location that I need or that I might get more information if I go there to gather information. When I do that and result the action, I will be replacing it by a green cap, meaning that location has been done. I don't need to go back. This is for helping me not to confuse to go back to another location again. And again, all locations are numbered between 1 and 100. If I go on a location and I decide to search, which is my next action, search location, I will be again going to this. Well, every location has a number. I need to go on that number. On the book, it will be getting me information about that location. So, for example, if I have a suspect on location 43 and I decide to go search 75, it will help give me information about location 75, but nothing related to the scenario. And last action is search the suspect. All suspects have again a number. I will be going on the book, reading that and what I found on that character. So today the scenario is murder on all Hallow Eve. Trick or treat or murder. So I will be setting the card up and I'll be ready to play. So I'm ready. All the cards are starting face down, meaning I have no information. And the scenario starts with the debriefing. So murder on All Hallows Eve, which is a veteran, should be a medium difficulty. Case ID DCOA06, detective briefing. Can anyone tell me why the hell these movie types have to keep getting themselves killed? And on Halloween, no less. Don't they know how hard that make my job? No respect for the common working man. That's what it is. And who hell is Clark Stewart anyway? Flip case card A. So my first piece of information is case A. The murder victim. Any of you mock seen one of his picture? Moving on to the salient detail of the crime, Stewart was found half submerged at the La Brea tar pit, dressed to the nines in some kind of Roman centurion office. Place the crime scene marker at 10. So I have this red circle, which is the crime scene. It starts at location 10 here. He had a single stab wound in his cheek, caused by a knife or some other sharp weapon. And if this wasn't bizarre enough, he had a F carved into his cheek. Either he was coming from the set of some movie or he was out trick or treating. My money's on the trick or treating, but we don't talk in guesswork in the LAPD Homicide Division. As usual, that's where you lot coming. Stewart had a push pad out by Silver Lake, 35. Oh. my first red cap, it's at 35.
But you should also roll up on the major studio and see if anyone can shed some light on the man's whereabouts last night, or his sword and scandal setup. Fox 11,
Fox Studio 11,
MGM 14,
MGM 14,
Warner Brothers 28,
Warner Bros. 28,
Paramount 31.
Paramount 31.
These will all be prudent starting point. Now get the hell out there and solve this one like your badge depend on it. The sooner I can get these gossip rag off my back, the better. No respect, I tell you, no respect.
So, to solve the crime, I need to identify the guilty suspect, the murder weapon, and the suspect motive. I have all location here and no special rule. So the last thing left for me to do is putting my character on the map. I have 5 location and 1 information. So when I gather information, I will be reading on this piece of paper. So suspect 1 through 5, card 1 to L. So first, I think I will be starting at the police station on number 12, close to 3 location to search information, and after that I can go on top searching. Okay, as my first action, I think I will go to the crime scene and I will be searching the location 10. So I go on my back here, 10, I go on 159.
If there was anything else at the crime scene, it has sunk below the surface of the tar and is out of your reach.
Okay, I didn't find anything. So I will start by moving to Fox Studio and searching the location 11. The location 11 will give me 546.
No one knows squat about Stuart, but multiple people mention the Holmes Halloween Bash, an annual costume party for the who's who of Tinseltown. Dorothy Holmes, director over at MGM 14, hosts it at her house every year, 26.
So I have a new location 26. I've been here to 16, replacing by a green cap. Again, this is not part of the game, just for me to remind myself that I've been there and there's nothing else to go get. So, first turn done. I think I will go to the party since most likely. So I will move 1 to 8, move 2 to 26. Then I will search the location 26. 26, I go on 108.
The enormous mansion is still covered in Halloween decoration. A plastic skeleton leering at you from the bushes. A young nervous man answered the door. He is surprised to see you. Look at B and place Sammy Standy at 26. Sammy Holmes is suspect number 3. You may ask him one free question.
So I have a first piece of information. Letter B. Sammy Holmes, Dorothy's son. Respectable and helpful, almost overly so. Cooperation may as well be his middle name. And like I said, when I have information, I gather people. This is one of the suspect. It is Standy. It is on 26. and I can ask him one free question, and he is suspect number 3. So, as a free action, I will ask suspect number 3, yes, about the victim 462.
I vaguely remember him and some girl arguing at the party that night. I think her name was Mona Taylor or something like that. They were yelling about his ex-wife Elizabeth. She wasn't at the party, but I know she worked over at Paramount 31.
31, we already have a location information. I will decide to push it. So 305.
Sammy became agitated when you press him on the murder. Clark was aces in my book. I never would have hurt him. He even visited me when I was at the poor farm 98. If I knew who killed him, I would tell you. I swear it. You believe him, but you're also sure there's more to the story that Sammy is letting on. Gain 1 leverage over Sammy.
So first thing first, I gain a leverage on the guy. I will put it. And another piece of information, 98, which is way over there. Okay. I have nothing more. Uh, yeah, I will search the suspect. Previous games tell me that sometimes the suspect have information on him. So he is suspect 3. I go on 542.
Sammy is fully cooperative. I'm more than happy to help find whoever did that to Clark, detective. You find a bottle of pill in his pocket. May I have that back, detective? Those are kind of important. You give back the pill, but not before carefully reading the label. Look at mystery card 1.
Sometime the scenario will have a mystery card. So mystery card 1. LA County Poor Farm. Uh, Chloroform Magazine for Samuel Holmes, represented by Reginald Carver. So a bottle of small pill for a drug called chlorpromazine, described by prescribed for Samuel Holmes by Dr. Reginald Carver at LA County Poor Farm 98. Okay, so this is not a card that is on top that I can get. So, but I have information. I will be placing it face up next to me. Okay, so that's my turn. Okay, I can go directly within one. It's a number. So 1, 2, search. Yeah. So double move. So 1 to 38, 1 to 98. Then search the location 98. I go on 614.
The LA County Poor Farm is anything but poor. It's a treatment facility for the city's richest alcoholic, coke, fin, and basket cases. A bit of scratch in the right palm get you 15 minutes in the record room. Only take 5 to hunt down Sammy's file. Look at mystery card 2. When you discard mystery card 2 at Sammy's location, make a note to turn to 149 before looking at any card.
Okay. Sammy's location. I need to go on 149. Then I go get mystery card 2. So mystery card 2. Some paperwork from the note of Dr. Carver, the patient Samuel Holmes.
When at Samuel location, discard this card to publicly reveal D. Then flip mystery card 3 and read it out loud. You may ask Victoria one free question.
Okay. Okay. So I've been there. I have information. And I will start moving back 38. That is my last action. Go on turn 9. Regain my 4 action. Um, First action, I go move on 26. The note that I took while at the mental institute ish say when you discard mystery card 2 at Semi's location, take a note to turn to 149 before reading anything else. So I'm at location of Semi. I discard the note that say and before reading that I need to go on 149.
Sammy is all smile when he sees you. Anything I can help with, detective? You simply utter one word, Majesty. The transformation is instantaneous. Smiling, Sammy has been replaced by Victoria, who looks down her nose at you in disgust. What possible explanation can there be for interrupting our afternoon repose? Quick, out with it before we have you strapped in irons. Look at D and mystery card 3. Victoria is suspect number 4. You may ask one free question of Victoria.
Can look at card number D. Card D is Victoria, a split personality. When Victoria is first revealed, reveal mystery card 3, triggered by the use of the word majesty, speak with the mediocre English accent, and makes a liberal use of the royal we. Um, and mystery card 3, so I discard the note. It's move. Mystery card 3, it's gameplay clarification. Sammy has a split personality. You may ask each personality question about the other, searching each personality even though they are technically the same person may provide different result. When making a guess, consider each personality as the same person. For example, if Victoria is the guilty suspect, then guessing Sammy instead will also be considered correct. Okay, that is weird. Look at the Michigan. Victoria is suspect number 4. You may ask one free question of Victoria. So I will ask the question. Suspect number 4, Victoria, 84, about the uh, murder.
Yes, we saw this man at the costume ball, but we did not speak with him. Royalty does not rot in the dirt with the commoner. Good night.
I will challenge Victoria. 637.
Victoria blanched when you challenged her. We were feeble over so slightly, but that is all right, is it not? She composed herself before going on. The costume ball began so wonderfully. Master Stewart and ourselves retired to a secluded back room. Then it all went black and horrid. We were standing over our sweet Clark with a sword and we had standing in scarlet, and his eyes were empty and did not blink. Victoria began to sob. Tell us truly, good night. Was it just a nightmare? Gain one leverage over Victoria.
Okay, so Sammy did it. Yep, Sammy did it, but which of his personality did it? And I need to find uh, the murder weapon. Okay. Uh, I will. Yeah. Before leaving, I will ask one question because I'm kind of confused. Suspect number three about Victoria card D, which is 646. And I'm gonna use my leverage on it. Sammy becomes very quiet when you ask him about Victoria. I shouldn't talk about her. The doctor at LA General 54 say I shouldn't talk about her or the other one. No more question. I don't want to have another episode. Okay, so LA General, I need to go there. And I did push it, so 871. Sammy gets irritated at your further questioning. That's all I'm going to say about it. I told you I don't want to have another episode. Gain 1 stress. Search Victoria, which is suspect number 4. I go on 85. Guard, guard, come quickly and slap this villain in iron. You pat Victoria down, finding nothing while she continued to screech at you. You wish to know our whereabouts? Then we will provide quite under the rest the royal sigil. She disappeared inside and returned momentarily with an appointment book. Look at mystery card 4. Okay, I have mystery card 4. A notebook. Okay. It is filled with appointment with the same person, Dr. Jones at LA General. Okay, I need to go on LA General then. I will move. I'm at 26. Move directly to 52. Reset my action. Go down a turn. Move to LA General. Then search LA General, which is 54. If I go down a opinion, 944. The security at LA General Psych Ward, home to only the most hopeless cases, is incredibly lax. You find a doctor's coat in the unlocked closet and waltz right up to the record desk. I need the note on Samuel Holmes and I need them now. A frigid nurse quickly complies, placing the thick folder in your hand. Look at mystery card 5. When you discard mystery card 5 at Sammy's location, make a note to turn to 74 before looking at any card. So I need to go on 74. I look on mystery card 5. Okay, that is something interesting. From the note of Dr. Jones, the department, Samuel Holmes, Dr. Carver, initial diagnostic was incomplete. Okay. Sammy psyche is fractured far beyond what we originally believed. Victoria is not the only alternative personality, as we have uncovered a second, much darker persona within Sammy. He called himself Frank, and the trigger to bring out his freak. Frank exhibits aggressively sadistic tendency and a complete lack of empathy. He has mutilated numerous small animals and has openly fantasized about doing the same to people in his life. When at Sammy location, discard this card to publicly reveal card E. You may ask friends one week question. Note, there are other ways to reveal Frank, so don't delay playing this card. Okay, that is interesting. Uh, do I go directly or making? I think I will continue gathering information. I will move, then search and double move. Yeah, I need to double move. Move 1 to 52, move 2 to 35, searching its location on next turn. So I reset my 4 action, go down turn 8, starting by searching the location. We said it was 35. 35. I go on 698.
The victim had a nice pad, an invitation to something called the Holmes Halloween Bash, is lying on the dining room table among a pile of unopened mail. Look at I.
Okay. Hi. Home Smash. Whisper by Dorothy A. Holmes. So yeah, the Halloween party at 26. We already know that. I will continue before leaving, putting a green cap, meaning I've been there, and moving to 28 and searching 28. If I search 28, I have 548.
The guard is quick to point you to the prop house when you ask about Stewart. Ramona knew him. She works over in prop. Inside the cavernous building, you find a woman sorting boxes of movie prop. You flash your badge. She doesn't smile. Look at F and place Taylor Standy at 28. Ramona Taylor is suspect number 2. You may ask her one free question.
I reveal card F. Card F. Ramona Taylor. Prop master giving her looks and charm. She would be better suited in front of the camera than behind it. And I put her at 28. I may ask her one free question. I will ask the question uh, about card A, and she is suspect number 2, so 829.
Oh God, I can't believe Clark is really gone. She seemed genuinely upset. Elizabeth is ex-wife. She's a monster. She's the one you need to talk to, 31.
Okay, 31. We already have a spot at 31. I will push it. 933.
Taylor pales when you press her on the murder. I'm sorry I lied about Elizabeth. She hasn't been in his life for ages. I'm just so stressed out. Clark and I were an item, but I never would have hurt him. Never. She refused to say anything else. Gain 1 leverage over Taylor.
Yay! So 1 leverage over Taylor. That is 2, so I will reset my action. Go down on turn 7. Okay, okay, so I have that. If no, she is suspended. Okay, I think I will start by that. Move and search location 31 before continuing. So, location 31. I go on this piece here, 31 768. Oh, nope. Before that, again, moving that, I will search her. Search the suspect. By suspect number 2, it's her 338.
You can't do that, Taylor protests as you pat her down. Inside her long trench coat, you find a replica Roman sword. Look at G.
Oh! Yes, 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 yes. Look at G. A sword. Roman sword. A well-made replica of a Roman soldier's sword. It is incredibly sharp. Okay, so I will ask her the question. What about the sword? So, suspect 2, the sword is G. I go on 32.
Since I work in the prop house, Clark had me get that for him. He wanted his costume to be perfect, but then he decided it was too heavy and didn't take it with him. I was just getting ready to put it back into storage.
Okay, I did push it, so 303.
Taylor can tell you're not buying her story. No, I don't guess that's entirely true. Just ask Dorothy about all of it. I'm tired of lying for her. I'm sure you can find her on her precious movie set 14. Gain one leverage over Taylor.
So I regain my yes, and other information 14. So I will put another cap saying I have more information there. So I will move and search the location 31. Maybe I have information there. 31, I go on 768.
It doesn't take long to learn that Stuart's ex-wife, Elizabeth Marks, works in the costume department. She doesn't bat an eye when you tell her Stuart's dead. He treated me like trash. I'm not sorry he's gone. You're looking for a lead? I'd wager anything he was at the Holmes party last night, 26, with that prosperous skank from Warner's, 28, in his on his arm. Dorothy didn't invite me, so I wouldn't know for sure.
Okay, two more location. 26 is where Sammy Victoria are. And 28, that is the other costume designer. So everything there. Excellent. I will go down another turn. Go on turn 5. Reset my action. I will move 17, move 14. Search location 14 to go on 419.
You flash your badge and stroll onto the nearest movie set, some picture called Angel on Broadway. The director, Dorothy Holmes, confronts you angrily. You are disturbing my set, detective. What do you want? Look at age and place Dorothy Standy at 14. Dorothy Holmes is suspect number 1. You may ask her one free question.
Great. So I look at H. Dorothy Holmes, director. All business, no fuss. Has a movie to direct and is irritated by your any interruption. I replace my red cap by the location of Dorothy at 14. She is suspect number 1 and she is card H. So my question, free question, I will ask about the murder, right? I mean, she suspect 1 about card A 969.
If Clark is dead, then you need to speak to his ex-wife Elizabeth. That harpy made his life a living hell. She was at the party, but I'm uninviting her next year. She's a costume designer over at Paramount 31.
Yeah, we know that. I'm gonna push it. But she says she didn't went, and she's not one of my suspect. Okay, I'm still gonna push it, gather more information. 575.
You press Holmes and she reconsiders. Now that I think about it, Elizabeth wasn't at my party, 26. I must have been mistaken. But Clark was. Then again, so was everyone who was anyone. You might as well question the entirety of Hollywood. Gain one leverage over Holmes.
Okay, I get a leverage over her, and my last, I'm gonna search her before next turn poking question. So I'm gonna search suspect 1. I go on 10. Holmes
acquiesced to your search, but she is not happy about it. You look through her purse and find a Halloween mask leering back at you. Look at C. Okay. I have card C. Card C. A queen's mask. Okay. Okay. Interesting. I reset my action. Go down on turn. Uh, 5. Okay. So. Mm, 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 mm. I have two more cards face down. Don't think I have the murder weapon yet. And I think I will move to 17, move to 26. Before doing anything else, I need to go on 74. The word freak is barely out of your mouth when Sammy/Victoria lunge at you, fully intent on strangling you right there on the doorstep. You pull your service revolver and they back off. But it's not either of them any longer. I was only kidding, Padre. Gotta keep you on your toes. A sadistic grin spread across his face. But where the hell are my manners? I'm Frank, and I will be your best damn friend in the whole wide world if you're gonna cancer stick for me. I'd slit my mama's throat for a single drag, I swear to God. Frank laughed, send ice down your spine. Look at E. Frank is suspect number 5. You may ask one free question of Frank. Frank, look at E. Card E. Frank, split personality. Triggered by the use of the word freak, maniac, and unhinged, a clear psychotic. Okay, I have all 5 of my suspect. I have one free question. Well, I'm gonna ask about the murder. So Frank is suspect number 5. 334. The little queen had a royal hard-on for the golden boy. He must have hurt her feeling and she went all French Revolution on his ass. Yeah, I'm gonna push it. 516. So I fibbed a bit. No harm, no foul. Fine, you want the truth about Big Shot Clark Stewart? He got what you get when you call me a freak and threaten to tell the world. Watching him bleed all out all over that bedroom floor was a joy to behold, detective. A true religious joy. Frank moan and wink at you. Gain 1 leverage over Frank. Okay. Okay. Uh, then I'm gonna ask a question. I'm gonna ask Frank, suspect number 5, about the sword that is letter G, to go on 891. And before I do anything else, I will push it. That was Golden Boy's little play toy he had with him. Brought a sword to a night fight and he still couldn't protect himself. What a pansy ass. I did challenge, so 196. I lie about a lot of stuff, but I ain't lying now. You're just too dense to know when you're being fed the God's honest truth. Gain 1 stress. Okay. And last, I'm gonna search the suspects. I'm gonna searching Frank. If I search Frank, suspect 5739. As you start to pat Frank down, he laughs at you, clearly enjoying this. I like you, pal. Tell you what, old Frankie's gonna give you a freebie. He led into the kitchen and pulled an incredibly large knife out of the drawer and hands it to you with a flourish. Tada! Don't say Frank never did nothing for you. Look at G.
Oh, okay. G. Kitchen knife. There is a small amount of blood on the handle. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna down next turn. Reset my action. So the victim was about to tell the world about Sammy, Victoria, Frank relationship. So someone killed him, I think, with the knife here. And I think, okay, I'm gonna try to solve it. So before I take my turn, I'm gonna solve it. So first solve, I think it's the mother, which is H. Suspect number one, Dorothy. So 26, and she did it with G 190, and to keep a secret 375 591. Nope. Okay, okay. Uh, or it's Frank who did it. Okay, let's try this. I think it's Frank. So suspect 5466, and I need to guess all the others at the same time. Suspect 4310 and Sammy suspect 3288. I think they all did it because of with the knife, so 190 on each, and the same reaction to keep the secret of their problem, quote unquote. 375. That is 1031 for the first one. For the second one, 875, 853. So before I start reading anything else, I will just clarification of the rule, gameplay clarification. Semi has a split personality. You may ask each personality question about the other. Searching each personality, even though they are technically the same person, may provide different results. When making a guess, consider each personality as the same person. For example, if Victoria is the guilty suspect, then guessing Sammy instead will also be considered correct. So, okay. So I have to guess all three. Did it with the knife to keep a secret. So I start by Frank. 1031. Nope. Victoria 875. 875. Nope. And 853. Nope. Okay. 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 What do I do now? Okay, I'm gonna ask a question. I'm gonna ask Frank about the knife he just gave me. So, Frank, about card G, G 455. I'm more of a strangle them slowly kind of guy, but a good knife will do in a pinch. Stabby, stab, stab. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna push it. 272. Quit busting my ball, detective. Frank roll his eye. Fine. Here's what really happened. Golden Boy was gonna tell the world about Sammy and his issue. I wanted to skim him slowly like a cat. More exciting that way.
farther I got was carving an F to his face. F for Frank. Get it? But oh no, she had to jump the gun and stick him instead. Took all the fun out of it. Gained one leverage over Frank.
She. Okay, I'm gonna ask a question then. I'm gonna ask Victoria. So I'm gonna say Majesty. He flipped to Victoria with the royal we. She is suspect number 4 with the knife 983.
We are not a common cook, so why should you show us such a common tool? Be gone.
Yeah, I did push it. So 866.
You know Victoria has more to say and she begins to shake when press her for more about the knife. We awoke from our nightmare and this was in our hand and Master Stewart was deceased. Such horror. Gain one leverage over Victoria.
Gain one leverage over Victoria. Then I'm gonna switch to ask a question with Sammy. Sammy, he is suspect number 3 about the knife 634.
Wait, that's the knife from our kitchen. Why do you have that?
Yeah, it's a knife that killed him, so I'm gonna push it. 990.
I don't know what you're playing at, detective, but that's our knife from our kitchen. If you're accusing me of using it to do something terrible, then you're barking up the wrong tree. I didn't touch that knife and I didn't do anything with it. Gang one stress.
So again a stress. Reset all 3. Jump to turn 1. I have 1 less turn. So my last section, I'm gonna ask uh, Sammy about the mask. So Sammy, suspect 3, about the mask card C29.
Sammy half glanced at the mask. I can't be sure since the night was a bit of a blur, but I think that was the mask that Ramona was wearing at the party. I think she worked in the prop department at Warner Bros. 28.
Okay, I'm gonna push it to 580.
You shove the mask right in Sammy's face and force him to take a long, hard look at it. His transformation is sudden and shocking. He begins shouting at you in a high falsetto. That's belong to us, foul knight. Give it here, or we shall have you banished. Look at D and Mr. Card 3. Victoria is now suspect number 4. You may ask one free question of Victoria. Gain one leverage over Sammy.
Okay, again a leverage. Victoria just punch out. So I have one free question. I'm gonna ask Victoria then about the mask. So Victoria, she suspect 4, 28. Uh, card C, sorry. 453.
So, you have found our disguise from the costume ball. Was that not keen of us to be a queen disguising herself as a queen? We were greatly impressed with our own cleverness.
I did push it, so 193.
You doubt our cleverness, knave? Or is it you doubt that we speak the truth? Fear thee not, we have spoken true, and it does your character disservice that you did not believe us in the first time. Gain one stress.
Okay, gain the stress. Reset my 4 action. Go down on turn 3. Okay, that's okay. I'm gonna move to Paramount 28. I'm gonna ask uh, Ramona. I'm gonna ask a question on Ramona about the knife. She and Ramona is suspect 2, so I go on 792.
Is that a prop? She looks at it more closely. No,
A common kitchen knife. Sorry, I've never seen it before. And I'm gonna use my leverage on it. Is that a prop? She looked at it more closely. No, a common kitchen knife. Sorry, I've never seen it before. Yeah, I did push it, so 316. Taylor almost had you fooled. Almost. You call her on a BS. And she burst into tears. Sammy had that in his hand, and he was licking the blood off of it. And laughed. And Clark, poor Clark, it was horrible. She shook her head and refused to say anything else, gaining one leverage over Taylor. Okay, I gain my leverage back. And she said that Sammy had that in his hand and he was leaking. Okay, so yeah, I think Sammy did it. I'm gonna ask then does she know about Victoria then? Oh, so Ramona, do you know about Victoria? Number one. You explain Sammy's condition to Taylor and her eyes go wild. That explains why he was wearing that dress when she catch herself and stop talking. And I'm gonna use my leverage just in case. Yeah, I did push it. So 414. You tried to press Taylor, but she hardened under the pressure. I wasn't lying. He was wearing a dress, but that's all I'm going to say. Gang one stress. Okay, gonna ask her about Frank then. Does she know about Frank? Suspect 2. About Frank is card E. 325. Why is someone like him running around? They should lock him up for good and throw away the key. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna push it. 1061. There's more. Taylor said, looking down when you press her. I knew he was disturbed, but I didn't know it was that bad. It must have been him that night, this Frank. I walked in and he was laughing and licking the blood off of a knife. It was terrible. She broke down in tears and refused to say anything else, getting one leverage over Taylor. So, getting back my leverage. Okay, so go down to turn 2. Have one turn left. And I think I will try to solve it again. So I need to guess. It's all three of them. So suspect 3, 4, 5. So 288 and 310 and 466. With the knife G, that is 190. 190. And I'm gonna say urge to protect. Frank did it, but he wanted to protect the other one. So that's 400. Okay, 878. Nope, that's not him. Then 900. Nope. And 1056. Nope. Okay. 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 Uh, it's one of them. So it has to be all three of them, and he has to be the knife, because it was covered in blood. He was leaking the blood out of him. So mental instability and mental instability 125. So I go Frank and The knife with mental instability 125 781. Nope. Okay, okay. It's not Frank, but he says she had the knife and he just carved the F in his cheek, but she pushed it. Victoria says she it's not her because why would it she lower itself to that? She's a queen. Sammy has no idea whatsoever. Ramona, she was in love with him, so why would she kill him? It left me with Dorothy, which is the mother. I think she's the mother. So yeah, okay. I have four action. So I'm gonna move to 17, move to Dorothy. I'm gonna ask her about the knife. So Dorothy is suspect number one about the knife 895. 895. Is that from my kitchen? What are you doing with my kitchen knife? And I'm gonna use my leverage on her. You know, Holmes has more to say. When you press her, you can see the line of her mouth tightening. Get that out of my face. I want to speak to my lawyer before I answer any more questions. She refused to say anything else. Gain one leverage over Holmes. Okay, gain one leverage over her. Okay, doesn't want to talk. So I'm gonna ask then about the mask. Card C, suspect 1, card C, 133. And I'm gonna use my leverage over her. That was part of my costume at my famous Halloween Bash 26. I thought it was quite cheeky. Yes, I did push it. 831. No, I don't suppose that is true. It's not mine. It's belonged to my son, Sammy. He enjoyed dressing up now and then, but I don't care for this mask, so I took it from him. Gain one leverage over Holmes. Gain a leverage. So that was my 4 action. I reset. I go down on turn 1. I have to solve it. Um, yeah, I think the mom did it. So I think the mom did it. She is 26. She did it with the knife, which is 190. And I'm gonna say either urge to protect or mm, not anger, mental, no money, need to be um, keep a secret or urge to protect. I think it was keep a secret. So 375. It give me 491. 591. The captain invites you into his office. Congratulations, detective. You've done it. You solved the case and brought Clark Stewart killer to justice. You have successfully solved murder on All Hallows Eve. Turn to page 25 in the Chisel book and read the epilogue. Woohoo! So, epilogue. Things were looking up for Clark Stewart. Hot off the heels of Dancer for Hire, his breakout musical success, all the majors were eager to place him front and center in the next big project, especially Dorothy Holmes, Hollywood's only female director. The proof was in the invitation to her Halloween party.
Annual Holmes Halloween Bash was one of the benchmark for a star's ascent in Hollywood. Being invited was an official stamp of approval that you had made it. No invitation was a public rebuke that you weren't desired, especially or successfully enough. I'm on my way, Clark thought to himself. He decided to bring Ramona Taylor with him, the wannabe starlet he used for an arm candy at industry siding like this. Ramona, for her part, was over the moon if she could rub shoulder, the right shoulder at this party, and let's be honest, they were all the right shoulder. It could get her out of the prop department and in front of the camera, where she belonged. After arriving at the party, she and Clark got into an argument, and he abandoned her to mingle amongst Hollywood brightest. The elephant in the room at the Holmes Halloween bash was Dorothy's troubled son Sammy. He stint at both the LA County Poor Farm and the LA General Psych Ward were common knowledge, but no one knew what he had been treated for exactly. Party-goers tolerated his irritated interruption and request for autograph. They even looked the other way when he put on a dress and began talking with that horrid English accent, insisting on being called Victoria. A small price to pay to be at the party. Being in his first time to the bash, however, Clark didn't know about the elephant. When the dame in the queen mask and the sexy gown lured him away from the crowd to a secluded bedroom, he didn't give a second thought. Sure, her voice seemed a bit odd, but his lucky day was about to get even luckier. And when Victoria took the mask, Clark recoiled from the man in the gaudy makeup. What the hell? Get away from me, you freak. That was Frank's cue to emerge. Freak, huh? I'll show you freak, golden boy. Frank, Frank was incredibly strong and smashed Clark's head up against the wall, knocking him out cold. Whistling, he left the bedroom, went down the hall to the kitchen, grabbed the largest knife he could find, and headed back to the bedroom to practice his standing skill on a human being. That's when Dorothy, who had spotted her son leaving the kitchen with a knife, burst in just as he finished carving an F into Clark's cheek. Majesty, she yelled, using the trigger that will bring Victoria back. That is what is this madness? Victoria shrieked as she dropped the bloody knife. That's when Clark came to, rubbing his head. Dorothy quickly picked up the knife. Let me apologize for Sammy, Dorothy begins, but Clark cut her off. Your son is insane. I'm going to tell everyone about this. You're done for, and they're gonna lock your freak of a kid forever. Frank snarled as he shoved Victoria aside in Sammy's crowded head. Call me freak one more time, you little piece of. She was cut off as Dorothy plunged the knife into Clark's guts. No one, especially this nobody, was going to jeopardize her career or threatening her son. She would do anything to keep that secret. Clark sunk to the floor, dead. Color me all kind of impressed, Dot, Frank said. He pulled the knife out of Clark. I didn't think you had the stone. It was at that point that Ramona, who had been looking for Clark, walked in and witnessed Frank licking blood off of the knife. Fresh meat, Frank said as he moved to grab her. Dorothy used the trigger word the second time and Victoria returned. She looked at Clark's body and the knife in her hand,
and promptly fainted. Ramona, in a state of shock, began to back away. Dorothy quickly slammed the door to the room and grabbed her by the arm. "How would you like to become the biggest movie star Hollywood has ever seen?" That got through to her. Dorothy dismissed the rest of the party guests and returned to the room together. She and Ramona cleaned up the mess and put Sammy, who was still unconscious, to bed. Dorothy cleaned the knife up and replaced it in the kitchen, then stuffed the queen mask inside her purse. She and Ramona loaded Clark into the back of Dorothy's car. They drove a short distance and dumped him in the tar pit, expecting that he would be fully submerged by morning. She handed the sword to Ramona. "Hide this as deeply as you can in your prop storage, and then come see me in the morning. We'll talk about your future in this town. And remember, dear, loose lip sink ship." Despite her charge to dispose of the evidence, she completely forgot about the Queen's mask buried at the bottom of her purse. Dorothy returned home and checked on her son, still sound asleep. "No one will ever take you from me, my darling. Never." She kisses him on the cheek, closed the door behind her, and sat down to go over tomorrow's shooting script. She had a movie to make after all. Solving the case! It was Dorothy with the kitchen knife, with both keep a secret or urge to protect. So this was the murder on All Hallows Eve. I do hope you like it. If you do, please put a like on this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It helps me a lot. And see you next time. Bye bye.